and gentlemen, welcome to We Are Wrestling with your host, Donnie Barnard, and co-host, Chaz Smith. And now, here they are, Donnie and Chaz.
What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie here, with my co-host,
Chaz Smith. What's up, best one nation? Woo!
and this is a new episode of We Are Wrestling.
Are wrestling.
And this is another quarantine episode where Chaz and I, we debate about wrestling. And, of course, this is usually a once-a-week show, but we're giving the exception of we're giving an exception of this virus and WrestleMania season. So today we're going to talk about The Fiend versus John Cena, the Firefly Funhouse match. And we're going to discuss our opinion on it because I was ranting on Twitter last night. You guys probably, if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen the tweets. I'm going to drop them right here. Yep. I was very upset about the match. But a lot of people like to hear our opinion about the Bray Wyatt and the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse. Because we're in a... I'll let you explain about the Facebook group that we're in.
Oh, well, Donnie and I are members of a group on Facebook called the Firefly Funhouse Fan Group. And it's actually a huge group.
14,000 people.
I joined about 10 months ago. Yeah, about 14,000 members. When I joined, it was 208 members 10 months ago, and it's grown to 14,000 members.
I think I came in at like 1,000, I think.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's more than the actual WWE official Bray Wyatt fan club. So it's a really great group. But, they've been some of our strongest supporters here on We Are Wrestling.
And that's why you see us doing a lot of topics on The Fiend and Bray Wyatt, because a lot of our fans that watch We Are Wrestling are from that page. So shout out to that page. But let's talk about the match. Should I start or should you start? Because I have a lot I want to get off my chest about this.
Well, why don't you fill me in on what you were tweeting about? 'Cause, I know you haven't. Last time I knew you weren't really on Twitter that much, so
yeah,
or
I know.
At all.
I've been getting back into Twitter a little bit. I've been watching what I'm tweeting. I've been watching out. I'm being more precautious. Yep, which is good. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go. Here's some of my tweets I tweeted. I tweeted, "This Firefly Funhouse match is so confusing. Am I the only person who wasn't a fan of this Firefly Funhouse match? There is so much they could have done with this. Huge disappointment." Hold up. Wait. Okay, here we go. "I am a huge fan of Bray Wyatt's work, but this Firefly Funhouse match was absolutely terrible compared to the Boneyard match." And then at the end of the show, obviously, we had a short main event, which going into the predictions, I wanted blood. I wanted this to be a dogfight. And here's what I tweeted.
Sure.
"Are you kidding me at WWE? That's our main event. I'm happy Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion, but really? Night 1 was way better than Night 2. Edge versus Randy Orton was the only good match tonight. exception Otis and which I forgot to tweet about. Otis and Dolph Ziggler I thought did pretty good as well. But I said very disappointed.
Yes.
But this is based on the Firefly Funhouse match, and now let me get some shit off my chest. And this is why I like We Are Wrestling, because we get to debate about this stuff. And I've been waiting.
Haven't heard a good dot.
I have been waiting to rant about this match. Okay, going into our prediction video, it's not funny. Going into this prediction video, I said my expectations for this match were very, very, very high. I said that these two could paint a masterpiece. They could make a fucking sculpture. But what did they make? No, they did not make a sculpture at all. They made a normal painting, in my opinion. Okay, I'll give them props. There was some creativity in there. Okay, it was funny. Some parts, like John Cena with his little tights on. Ruthless aggression. That was funny. Okay, I will admit that. Also, the Vince McMahon puppet in this was hilarious. Freaking, this is good shit. That was actually funny. And, like, I will give him credit for that. And, like, some of the, like, throwbacks, like the chair incident when John Cena didn't hit him with the chair, I will admit that was creative. It was very creative. But how many bumps were there during that match?
Maybe 4, maybe.
There's more bumps in Brock Lesnar versus McIntyre than that. And that's telling you something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
In total of that McIntyre and Lesnar match, probably like 10 bumps. About. But
that's usual for Les.
Yeah, pretty much. But my opinion about this, okay? The NWO shit did not make sense at all. It made 0 sense at all. You have Bray Wyatt dressed up as fucking Eric Bischoff. I don't know what they were trying to do there with the John Cena. There's just so much they could have done. I wanted to see an actual fight between these two, but this was more of like a shitty comedy movie, I felt like.
Okay.
Like the AJ Styles and Undertaker the Boneyard match, they brought you in. Every moment in that Boneyard match was phenomenal. AJ Styles comes out to the Undertaker music, comes out of the casket, and then you see American Badass Undertaker riding the motorcycle. That was amazing. And then they had this match going all over the yard, and then the OC come out, and then they bring a bunch of dead people. Undertaker's whooping their freaking asses. And then there's a moment you thought Undertaker was gonna die. And then he comes from behind. I want more Undertaker stuff like this. That was spot on. That entire match. And then at the end, when he's on the motorcycle, puts his arm up with the freaking, his logo on that freaking shed. That was one of the best shots in WWE.
With Metallica pumping, yeah, that was nice.
That was nice. I'm sorry, but that was. You cannot compare the Firefly Fuckhouse match to this Boneyard match. Undertaker and Styles stole WrestleMania weekend. I'm sorry. They stole the show.
Yeah, I give you that. Now...
I was disappointed.
Okay, that's valid. You got some valid reasons. But I took a few notes, and I'm going to give a few opinions on what I think. I mean, I could be wrong. It's just opinions. And one of them happened to be on the NWO thing. Now, of course, I loved, first of all, straight out of the gate, I loved the original set. They had the original Firefly Funhouse set back, which I thought that was really cool. Because, when they moved to SmackDown and stuff, they couldn't, bring that whole set on the road with them, because, whatever. So they just had that plain blue wall or whatever. So I thought that was really cool. hopefully they're going to film some new episodes, or they did film some new episodes, hopefully, in bulk. And then, I think just going back to the NWO thing, personally, I think my reason why they did that, I think the whole thing in general was supposed to be, the way I took it, the way I perceived it was Bray preying on Cena's worst nightmare. The whole thing was supposed to be Bray placing Cena in a giant nightmare. That's the way I took it.
Yeah, I kind of saw that too. I perceive it as that.
Yeah, like when he brought him out in his first match against Kurt, him being Kurt Angle, that was a horrible time for him. It was his first match. He lost horribly, and then, then the NWO thing, the way I perceived that was one thing I know Cena always said was he never wanted to be a heel, never wanted to turn on his fans like Hulk Hogan did. Him playing Hulk Hogan, that's him turning heel, playing, going up. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I kind of see that perception as well. But just in my opinion, this Firefly Funhouse match, there's so much they could have done better. Of course. They really could have had more actual fighting instead of disappearing.
Yes. Right. But I think if you look at it with an open mind and look at it with if you place yourself with what I'm talking about, with each piece supposing, because that Bray Wyatt, come on, Bray, first of all, John Cena is a great actor, and Bray Wyatt creatively is a genius, okay? There's no doubt about that.
Whoever created this match, they did it terrible.
Hold on now. Listen, no. First of all, they had to film this stuff within 2 nights. All 16 matches, do all this crap within 2 nights. So
no excuses.
Probably didn't have a lot of time. They had the deadline that they got, the Thursday night deadline at 11 o'clock.
Thursday night deadline.
I mean, I'm not making an excuse, but I think if you watch it with more of an open mind and look at it kind of from the nightmare aspect, from what I'm saying, like the Saturday night's main event, which that was my favorite. I grew up as a kid in the 80s with the big blue cage. Loved it. Loved that part. With Bray as Hulk Hogan and what I perceived as Cena as Macho Man, and them thinking, I think they were supposed to be the Mega Powers, maybe. Cena being Macho Man. So, I don't know.
There is no excuses.
It was a letdown. I agree with you. It was a letdown. But I think, could they have done more? Of course. But I think with the time allotment they had, it was pretty decent. It was pretty creative, and playing on his fears, I think it wasn't horrible. It was horrible. Could they have done better? Of course. You can always do better. But I think it was pretty creative with the time that they had. I don't know.
The time they had? There's no excuses. They all had the same time. This entire match card. Okay, the Boneyard match, I guarantee you they had 2 nights as well to do that. And they executed that perfectly.
They didn't each have 2 nights. You're not getting what I'm saying. They had 2 nights total to film 16 matches.
So you're saying that they spent more time on these matches, including the Boneyard match, over to Cena and Bray Wyatt. There is no excuses. Wait, there we go. He's back on the screen. There is no excuses to what I saw last night. No excuses. It was executed terribly. It was horrible. It was awful. Storytelling was okay. But this is WrestleMania. We want to see matches. We want to see a fight happen.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
If I want to go watch something like this, I will cancel my WWE Network subscription for $9.99, and I will go on TV. I will go on cable box and go watch TV Land or Comedy Central.
So why was the Boneyard match any better then?
There's a lot more bumps. There's more moves. Undertaker was taking hits.
Fucking stop.
It doesn't stop. Like, there's so much more action in that freaking Boneyard match. It was phenomenal. It was executed perfectly. This felt like a normal TV show. On the other hand, AJ versus Undertaker, that felt like a real fight. It felt like a real fight. Everything built up, it all added up. This, on the other hand, there's so much they could have done.
I agree. I do agree.
You're telling me WWE production, they could have done more. They could have done a lot more than what we saw. It was a huge blow, huge disappointment. I am a fan of both Bray Wyatt and John Cena, don't get me wrong. But whoever was in charge of this did a horrible job, and they could have done more to make the story make more sense. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think if you break each part down, I think it did kind of make sense. I don't know.
I just thought they could have just done more. Like, we didn't.
I just think there's a lot more Easter egg stuff that people just watching it, just as you expecting a match you're not getting. I think there was a lot more that you're just not understanding. And you're the kind.
Hey, they said wait, but in the match card.
I'm disappointed in you a little because you're the one who always finds Easter eggs and you're the one who always sees that kind of stuff. So I'm disappointed in you a little, man.
Okay, but wait. Going into this, Chaz, what did they say? This was a Firefly Funhouse match, right? The word match.
Yeah.
They used that, right? Where was the match? They could have just said it was another episode of Firefly Funhouse. Just saying. They could have said it was another episode of Firefly Funhouse. Not Firefly Funhouse match.
So what about Sister Abigail showing up? That was pretty cool.
I don't even remember what the hell she did.
She showed up for about 4 seconds.
Ramblin' Rabbit, that was good in the beginning. Warning Cena, that was good. I will give him credit. I was excited for that part. But as soon as he went in that door, that's when I think everything just really just shit the bed. They could have done a lot more. They could have fought on the Firefly Funhouse set. They could have done a lot more. Where was Mercy the Buzzard?
Mercy was doing commentary with Vince.
Oh, yes. My bad on that. Yes, you were right. And I'll admit, the commentary part, that was good. There was
some good shit.
But the ending was terrible. There's no referee.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it I don't know. I just think...
The finish was awful.
There was a lot more... There was a lot of hidden stuff that, I think you and I should talk after and kind of break some stuff down that I saw that I don't want to make this video like a million minutes long, but you know, maybe we can do a part 2 on this, and maybe, you know, or whatever. But I don't know.
Final
maybe
thoughts?
you'll kind of see what. It doesn't change the fact that they could have done better. I do agree with that. In all seriousness, I do agree. I was disappointed with the fact that there was no
we
wrestling.
couldn't see John Cena didn't even give him the "you can't see me" or even the attitude adjustment.
Right.
Like, come on now.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
There's so, like, that performance center is huge. Okay? That performance center is huge.
I think it was because, again, this is my perception, playing on the whole nightmare thing, it's because I think, from my perception, that John Cena was sucked into this nightmare thing, and that he could not be himself, and that he was so, like, what's the word? He was so, like, frozen with this fear, and that he was trying to, you know, he was reliving all these moments in his career. They were all flashing back in front of him that he didn't have time to do the whole, you know, you can't see me, or the, you know, the apple juice adjustment or whatever, you know. I don't know.
My final thoughts on this, they could have done a lot better. I was very disappointed. And I'm going to tell you this all right now, including you, Chaz. This is why wrestling will never be as popular as it once was. Because of cartoon shit like what we saw last night. That Boneyard match, that had the Attitude Era vibe when wrestling was at its high. But John Cena and Bray Wyatt, it felt like 1996 all over again.
No, 96 was good. It felt like 1993.
There you go. That's
it felt
better.
Like 92, 93 WWF. Yeah, you heard me. I said WWF, not E. Fuck E. That's right. Anyways. So, yeah. But that's why Donnie and I are going to be, the new format of We're Wrestling will be basically old versus new wrestling.
And
80s versus 90s.
That is the plan going forward
Attitude.
with the series, yes.
You know, 80s versus 90s, Attitude versus rock and wrestling, you know.
Ruthless aggression, all that other fun stuff.
You know, that kind of stuff.
But, yeah, my final thoughts on this whole Bray versus Cena thing. They had a canvas. They could have made a masterpiece, but instead they made a normal painting. And it felt like a normal, just felt normal.
Could have made a Picasso and, yep.
Like, you're really telling me that they couldn't do more. That performance center is huge. You have a lot of space to work with. WWE has connections more than any other wrestling promotion out there. You're telling me they could not execute that perfectly. I'm not saying Cena's a bad actor. I'm not saying Bray Wyatt's not creative. I'm saying the way they executed this whole thing could have been a lot better.
I just think there's a lot you're missing. I think you're just looking at it too vanilla-ish.
And I know Jim Cornette, he'd be pissed off if he watched this. I can't wait to hear his rant on this match. Because I know I got you. I'm on your side, Jim, this time. I'm on your side this time, Jim.
You haven't heard him yet.
I know what he's going to say.
By the way, we're going to do a video on that, by the way. We're going to do a video on that. So.
Alright, guys, but, On a serious note, if you guys enjoyed this episode of We Are Wrestling, make sure to smash that like button. If you're not a best one yet, and you're a We Are Wrestling maniac, hit that subscribe button now. We Are Wrestling will be airing once a week on Best One Network. Also, there's other content on here as well that you might enjoy, so scroll through the library, scroll through the history. You might find some gems on this channel. But links down in the description below. Go follow Best One Network on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know the drill. And to all the best ones out there worldwide, Best One Nation, we are taking over.
We are taking over.
And we'll see you guys next week with a new episode of We Are Wrestling. Take it easy, guys.
We are wrestling.